sometimes the hype is just too much. You see the videos, you see the posts, you see the comments, everybody talking about it, this shiny new fragrance, it's amazing. The FOMO kicks in. I've been there a few times.
I am never gonna financially recover from this.
You hit that buy now button like a reflex, just boom, you pay for the express shipping, it comes in, you unbox it, you spray it on, and like a cartoon shotgun, it blows your face off. Just poof, your dignity gone with your face. Today, ultra hyped fragrances that are not safe blind buys for everybody. Hey friends, Ash here, welcome back to Gents. Hope that you're well. Everything I talked to you about gonna be linked in the description below. Let's begin. Now the first fragrance I'm gonna share with you is a pretty obvious one, but a lot of the other ones are actually huge, massive hits that even though they're fantastic, and I'm gonna tell you straight up, I think they're fantastic, they may not be safe blind buys. But the first one's a little more obvious. Encre Noire Sport by Lalique. So why is this one hyped? Well, it's known for offering niche quality at bargain bin prices. You put those two things together and that spells hype. Niche, what is it? Hype, yeah. So it can give you that deep, robust vetiver flavor on a bargain bin budget. And I like that a lot. You'll hear it talked about as a hidden gem for grown-up fragrance lovers out there. And you'll also hear, well, look, if the original Encre Noire or Encre Noire All Extreme are just too much for you, brother, just get the Sport. It's safer blind buy. But in reality, for a lot of people, it sure ain't. Nah, a lot of people out there are gonna say this smells like wet dirt or moldy wood or like digging a grave in a dark forest. Okay, maybe that one is actually more like the original Encre Noire, but you get the point. And the name Sport is a little bit misleading because when you see that, maybe you think, oh, okay, like a gym fragrance, right? Nah, it's not really super fresh, breezy, and casual. Maybe a little more so than the original, but still, this is not your average gym-going fragrance. A lot of people are gonna find this one dark and depressing. So if you're not already into that DNA, this is not a safe blind buy. The next one is a clone fragrance, and it is Joe Milano's Roll It 1, which comes with a built-in roulette wheel, so that's worth something. Yeah, woo! I mean, do you see that? Do you see that? This one is marketed as a top-tier, top-notch, bold alternative or clone of God of Fire. It promises a premium clone experience, a top-notch alternative. And it does have a pretty nice presentation. The box is nice. The bottle does come with a magnetic cap, and again, it has that wheel. And the scent is not bad. It has a nice woody, spicy vibe to it with that mango, of course. So what's the problem with it then? Well, the main thing with this one is gonna be the price. Yeah, the price is not really great as far as clones go. On Joe Milano's website, it retails for $280, which is slightly more expensive than the new Bleu de Chanel. Again, at full retail. But you can get this one at discounters, and it is absolutely discounted heavily, but it's still, at least as of this video, 99 bucks, which is technically after a coupon, which takes it from $139.99 down to 99 bucks. And when you're talking that price level for clones, I don't care who it's from, I really wouldn't suggest any of them as a blind buy because there are other alternatives out there from big brands like French Avenue, Maison Alhambra, and many others that are between like 25 and 30 bucks. Gulf Orchid has one, Mango Ice, that smells like 90% the same as this, if not more, and that one is in the 25 range. So yeah, 99 bucks. It's expensive. At that point, you're essentially paying for the hype. And to an extent, like, I feel some people have to justify it in their mind. You know, spend 99 bucks and you go, no, the quality, it's so good. It's definitely 4 times better. Why did I buy this? So that's really the gamble with this one, is that price difference between this and all the other alternatives out there. But I will say, quality-wise, it does smell really good. Does it smell 4 times better? I don't think so, but does it smell good? Yeah. The next one is huge. I think it's amazing. I think for the price point, it's a steal. Fan-freaking-tastic. It's Mercedes-Benz Club Black. So why is it hyped? Well, it is first off cheap. That always helps. And it is a vanilla bomb. I feel like it smells smooth, warm, sweet, great for fall and winter, a really nice date night fragrance or a cozy night in fragrance. And it's often compared favorably to other much more expensive fragrances out there, more expensive vanilla fragrances. So if that's all true, and to me it is, why isn't it safe? For some people, they will say that this leans heavily into vanilla candle territory. Thick, syrupy, borderline cloying, and not wearable. Again, you have to like vanilla, because there is a good dose of it in here. And if you don't jive with that note being right at the forefront of the fragrance, this one probably is not gonna work for you. Some people also say that there's batch variation here, that newer bottles of this fragrance do not perform like when it first came out. So you do run, I guess, that possibility as well, having an issue where you're expecting a certain level of performance, and some people say that they don't get that performance. Other people say they do, but again, that's kind of part of the risk of blind buying. Now the next fragrance is huge, probably the most hyped fragrance here, I would say. But before we jump to that one, I want to give you guys those coupon codes. There's a new one for Fragrance Lords, so you can use that coupon to save 10% off that entire website. Got the JOMASHOP codes, which of course only work within the JOMASHOP app. And then the best news, the Gift Express and Perfume Box codes are now unlimited use. So you can use those bad boys 52 million times if you want to. Save yourself money every single time you shop at Gift Express and Perfume Box, both of which are fantastic discounters. So which is that very hyped fragrance that I just now alluded to? Well, it's this one, Male Le Parfum. So why is this hyped? Well, it's seen as, for a lot of people, the ultimate evolution of the Le Male DNA. Creamy spices, vanilla, lavender, and iris combined to make a scent that is absolutely stunning in fall and winter, a perfect evening fragrance. And like I said, the grown-up evolution, the peak of Le Male DNA. Classy, cozy, and seductive, while at the same time having great performance. But why isn't it a safe blind buy? Well, one of those notes I just mentioned, iris. A lot of people do not like iris in their fragrances. In this one, it's a little bit powdery, and that can turn a lot of people away from wearing it. They'll say it smells too old school to an extent, like a barbershop mixed with kind of a creamy makeup bag iris. And so for those people, this is not the universally sexy hype beast that they think it should be. To them, it just comes across smelling, like I said, a little too powdery, not really sexy, not enticing, and not worthy of the hype that it gets. And I have heard that from a number of people over the years, where they say, this gets talked about so much. I blind bought it, went in expecting to be blown away. When I sprayed it on, I thought, I am literally never going to wear that. Now for me personally, fantastic. Great, great stuff. But I realize it's not that safe for everyone. We have another clone up next. It is none other than Lattafa's Masa. Admittedly, not the most hyped Lattafa fragrance or anything like that, but it is one of their more divisive ones. So why the hype? Well, this is a twist, a clone of Ganymede, which is an extremely hyped fragrance in its own right. As I said, a twist though, that has this mango off the top, which gives it a different type of fruity sweetness, while still having that minerality that Ganymede is most well known for. A lot of people praise it for being super strong, great projection, an interesting twist, a bold release, but other people despise this fragrance. The opening, they'll say, is synthetic, headache-inducing, grating, weird, industrial, harsh, with a funky sweetness to it. And to a lot of people out there, it is just straight up unpleasant. Just not even a nice fragrance to wear, period. And so when it comes to Ganymede, if you're looking for an alternative, a lot of people may fall on this because it's a Lattafa. They'll be like, oh, okay, well, I'll get that one. I'll settle on this one, I'll scoop it up. Then when it comes in, they get kind of grossed out and they hate this stuff. Of course, with Ganymede being as popular as it is, there are a lot of other alternatives out there as well. And this one has kind of crept up in price, which also makes it a not safe blind buy. Lattafas most of the time hover around like 30 bucks or so, sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less. This one is closer to 45 most places. And as far as really cheap clones of Ganymede go, probably Celestial by Paris Corner gets talked about the most and is a little safer than this. The next one is another fragrance I absolutely love, so do not take this as me saying, oh, it's not a good scent. It's Luna Rossa Black. I love this fragrance. So why is it hyped? Well, it's considered sleek, sensual, a bit different than most other big designer fragrance releases out there nowadays. A little bit powdery, nice ambery warmth and sweetness, big attention grabber, has a good amount of tonka in there. Definitely unique. Definitely unique. A little bit similar to Bulgari Black and Midnight in Paris, both of which are discontinued nowadays. But that uniqueness is exactly also why it's not the safest blind buy out there. A lot of people may see the tonka in here and go like, well, I like tonka. You know, it's in this fragrance and that fragrance and this fragrance and that fragrance. Frankly, like 90% of men's fragrances, it feels like. So surely it will work for me. And I've heard it be hyped a lot, so it's gotta be good. And then they get the fragrance in, they spray it on, and they realize, oh, yeah, I hate it. A little bit rubbery, a little bit dark, mysterious, and to me, sexy and outstanding, but to other people, not wearable. The next fragrance is from Rabanne, the house formerly known as Paco Rabanne, and the fragrance is 1 million gold, which this will always be kind of a funny fragrance to me because when it was first announced, there was no 1 in the middle of this. It was just essentially 0. It looked like 0 million gold. All of the promo pictures for it, everything did not have the 1. And then when they launched it, they went ahead and threw the 1 in there. And obviously they were going the million direction instead of 1 million because after this they had million gold elixir and just put like a little, you know, fake gemstone in there. But at the time, it was like they were in between. Do we do 1 million? Do we do 0 million? Or just million? I don't know, man. Just throw a 1 in there. I can't make these decisions right now. This one has strong projection. Ah! It's fine. This one has strong projection. It has a sweet sandalwood forward base, which some people have drawn comparisons to other big sandalwood scents out there like Santal 33. And a lot of people will say it's kind of a sleeper hit. You know, it's not as hyped as some of the other millions, but it has a lot of people who do really love this one. The issue with this is it can take on a sour, kind of funky vibe on your skin. And then in the air, it can start smelling like body odor, which my wife will attest to. She despises this fragrance. When I was testing it out, when I first got it in, she was disgusted by the stuff. It is not nearly as safe as pretty much any other 1 million fragrance or million fragrance out there. Now, the elixir that came after this, million gold elixir, is similar, but it cleaned things up a bit, and that one is a bit safer. Another absolutely huge release up next, Spicebomb Extreme. Now this has been hyped to the moon and back. Like this stuff right here, I don't know, one of the most talked about wintertime fragrances for men, period, if we're talking designers. Tobacco, vanilla, cinnamon, it is sweet, it is obviously spicy, attention grabbing, great performance. There's a reason it's been hyped. I think it's, again, very, very good. Tons of compliments, beast mode, everything that people could want. So why is it not a safe blind buy? Well, I mean, it's safer than a lot of the other ones here, I'll say that much. But the sweetness that's in here, that performance that so many people love, it can really, really work against the scent for other people. For some people, it comes off one-dimensional, comes across syrupy, headache-inducing, overly cloying. The type of scent where somebody smells it and they make a connection in their head with like, I don't know, potpourri or particular holiday season festivities. And they'll be like, this fragrance, oh, what does that even mean? Holiday fragrance festivities. I was at my grandparents' having festivities and this fragrance reminds me of that. Disgusting. But yeah, there are people out there who will smell this and be like, nah, this stuff just does not do it for me. It reminds me too much of just holiday gatherings. It's not sexy, it's just syrupy and, like I said, headache inducing. And that has been a common refrain from people who don't like this one, who blind buy it, expecting to get just like this sex bomb essentially, or sex bomb, and then they hate it. Now a lot of these I really like. The next one, I tolerate. It's H24 Eau de Parfum. So why the hype? Well, this is generally held up as the best in the H24 line so far. Hermès craftsmanship, you know, taking on the big boys, the Dior Sauvages, the Bleu de Chanel's, the YSL Ys, but doing it in a particularly Hermès fashion. You know, they're not gonna go do a blue fragrance. Instead, they're gonna do an aroma chemical forward green fragrance, but use it to compete with those blue fragrances in terms of versatility, complement factor, etc., etc. At least that was the general idea. I think. It is loved by people who are into, we'll say, futuristic minimalism. So all that's good, but what is the reason it's not really a safe blind buy? Well, the futuristic minimalism. It has a metallic edge to it, which can be very divisive. It has this overdose of sclarine, which the idea behind the fragrance is kind of like the steam used while pressing fabric. And you kind of get that in the scent, and it's like, oh, yeah, that's kind of interesting, but I don't want to smell like that for a lot of people. In a traditional sense, there's not a whole heck of a lot of sweetness or warmth. It does come across a little bit cold, and for some people that's going to be great. They're gonna be like, oh, that makes it more interesting. For other people, they're gonna say, it smells kind of like an ironing board or hardware store with fresh, overly green synthetic sweetness in the opening that fades into that more metallic edge. So, yeah. And the grand finale, Lattafa again, Asad Zanzibar. This is one that when it was first announced, people were hype. They were like, oh, new Asad. They were looking at the note breakdown. It's gotta be a Le Beau. It's gotta smell similar to Le Beau. It's gonna be loud. It's gonna be tropical. It's gonna be sweet. It's gonna be inexpensive. It's gonna get compliments. Hype, hype, hype. But the fragrance is kind of odd. It opens synthetic, a little plasticky, chemically sweet. It is strong, but you don't really want to smell it. It can feel overwhelming, and in general, it is one of Lattafa's biggest misses, where when this came out, just a lot of people were not really keen on it. Now, there are some people out there who love the stuff. They think it smells fantastic, amazing, etc., but I would say the majority of people that I've had smell this one have really not liked it. So there we go, fragrances that have gotten hype either as they were coming out or after they came out or everything in between that you may want to test if you can before you go ahead and pick them up. Even though some of these are fantastic and I would blind buy them 32,000 times, but I can't blind buy them because I already know how they smell. Thank you guys for hanging with me. Stay safe out there, take care of yourselves, and we'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys.